With us now is Jocelyn
Recording
Parot.
is on.
With us now is Jocelyn Parot from France, and he's working for the international network for CSA Urgenci. Could you briefly present yourself, Jocelyn? Hello.
So, hello. Urgenci is the international network for local solidarity-based partnership for agroecology, LSPA, we say. And in Germany, we have, for example, Solidarische Landwirtschaft, which is a type of CSA, community-supported agriculture. So LSPA is a bit larger. It encompasses a lot of different models. CSA is one of these models. But in the LSPA, we also have food cooperatives, farmers markets, and different kind of direct selling schemes. So basically, I'd like to say a few words about the core values within this movement. We say LSPA, local solidarity-based partnership. We say local because LSPAs are oriented towards relocalized food production and food distribution, relocalized food systems. There are partnerships with local farmers, and this is also very important in terms of mitigating the climate change. We say solidarity-based. It refers to the solidarity between the producers and the consumers, and also among the consumers. This solidarity has at least two dimensions. One is the risks and benefits sharing, the fact that both are shared, the risks and the benefits. And second, fair payment for the producer is secured. And we say partnership because there is a connectivity, a proximity that is usually formalized as a contract between each consumer and the food producer. It is a long-term binding agreement. And now I explained LSPA, Local Solidarity-Based Partnerships, and I want to explain A, which stands for agroecology. For us, agroecology is actually an overarching concept describing the essence of our practices. Urgenci adopted the reference to agroecology a few years ago. Before that, we were speaking of LSPPC, local solidarity-based partnerships between producers and consumers. We used this word for the first time in 2004. But then, let's say 5 years ago, we decided to say, okay, agroecology really describes what we stand for. For us, agroecology is threefold. It has three different dimensions. First, it is understood as a set of agricultural practices. Let's take agrobiodiversity, for example, which is a key component of agroecology as defined by the FAO and also by Miguel Altieri. Thanks to a project we are conducting now, we've been able to conduct a research where we showed that LSPA offer a better situation for farmers to fully engage in the cultivation of peas and seeds and in participatory breeding. And more generally, I would say that the stable income which is provided to farmers through LSPA is an incentive to produce in a more diversified and sustainable way. Second, agroecology in our movement is recognized as a science. When we do agroecology, we do science, research, innovation, adaptation. The movement is innovative. It is co-creating knowledge, sometimes collecting and restoring ancestral know-how, ancestral practices, but more often reinventing new practices and new partnerships all the time. Our initiatives actually often describe themselves as experimental experiments or living labs. But I would say that these experiments have already produced a number of positive impacts. For example, a study shows that food waste in a LSPA is around 6% as compared to a value of about 50% in the industrial food chain. 50% of what is produced actually left on the field or is wasted along the food chain in the conventional sector, only 6% in the LSPA movement. Third point, agroecology from our perspective is also, and perhaps more importantly, a social movement. Our vision of agroecology is to increase the autonomy of farmers. And one of our key claims is, of course, food sovereignty, the right to decide how food is produced and distributed. We did another field research recently on the financial sustainability of LSPA farms, the farms producing for this kind of short supply chains. And we observed that the partnerships are saving a lot of environmentally sustainable farms that would not otherwise survive. And this is due to the strong support provided by consumer groups. I would like to say also that farmers are too often socially isolated, and LSPA is a way to give farmers back their agency, their capacity to change, to make the transition, and to make them part of the solution. So I really want to stress this human social dimension that is crucial for us, and that cannot be left apart. The main challenge for us all, is probably to make sure agroecology stands firm on the three pillars: scientific, agricultural, and social. And just to finish the presentation, I'd like to say a word about COVID-19 and the resilience of LSPA. I want to take a quick look at the global event that is going on right now, because it's not finished, as we all know. We've been monitoring the situation, and we didn't find any country where LSPA initiatives would have stopped. In China, LSPA could continue even if the lockdown was very, very strict. In Europe, West Africa, Brazil, Turkey, North Africa, etc., we saw that LSPA were proving robust. LSPAs are even becoming very often a refugee for many local farmers who lost their access to market because the open air markets were closed. And there are many practical reasons for that. In LSPA, the share is often the same for all and has been pre-ordered and prepaid. So this drastically limits the handling of the shares. But there are also other reasons, like the strength of the social link in LSPA, the human relationship, which is much stronger. Thus, I would just finish by saying that this COVID-19 situation has been showing the resilience of our food systems. And I think this is very important to keep in mind, because this kind of situation could further develop in the near future if we act too late, for example, to stop climate change. And I'd like to add, as a final point, that we need a green recovery. We need agroecology as part of the solution to effectively fight climate change. And I think LSPA, as a whole food system approach, needs to be a central part of this all around the world.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn, for this very well-prepared presentation and this overview. Thank you a lot. Huh?
You're welcome. Thanks for your attention.